Hi, my name's Phil. I like to talk about politics. In this video, I'd like to discuss the leaked memo from one of Boris Johnson's aides that suggests that the Prime Minister was advised from meeting a senior Tory backbench MP without backup, at least from the Chief Whip. In other words, that Boris Johnson was not to be trusted to have the fortitude to meet with one of his own MPs. But first, if you'd like to be notified of daily news and politics, then please subscribe to the channel and click the bell notification icon. So, Sir Graham Brady is the chair of what's called the 1922 Committee. This is the name for the Parliamentary Conservative Party. Essentially, it represents what are called backbench Conservative MPs. These are MPs that are not in Boris Johnson's government. Now, Brady has been vocal in his disdain for the lockdown, as has a lot of Tory MPs, including some cabinet ministers as well on his side. And it is against this background that Brady has sought regular meetings with Johnson to discuss this issue. Now, there's nothing unusual about someone in Brady's position having regular meetings with the party leader. They are supposed to meet on a monthly basis so that Brady, who represents the backbench MPs, can have frank discussions with the Prime Minister about what is the feeling of MPs on a range of issues. Indeed, you'd think it's a useful thing for these two people to get together on a regular basis in order to facilitate effective communication between the leadership of the party and, the wider parliamentary party. But Johnson's political secretary, Ben Gascoigne, sent him a memo which has since been photographed. It's one of these classic things. It happens every now and then. A minister, in this case the Prime Minister, has it on them. Instead of keeping it inside their folder, they just have it on the folder because they were obviously reading it in the ministerial car. They get out of it. Photographer snaps it, and it's there in all its misplaced glory. And then it was reported in the Times. And this memo was advising the Prime Minister not to meet Brady alone, to have at least the Chief Whip with him whenever a meeting did take place. And it also seemed to suggest that Johnson shouldn't agree to meetings on too regular a basis either. The memo made clear that Brady would seek to have further meetings with Johnson and would seek to have meetings with Johnson one-on-one, no other witnesses. Now, Brady, as I say, is a backbench MP that has not only been vocal in attacking the lockdown, but the one I reported a week or so ago as saying, workers seem to be a little bit too comfortable on this furlough scheme. So he also wants that abolished. As if employees furloughed at home have any say in the matter. I talked about this before. It's not up to it. The bosses didn't go to employees, do you want to be furloughed or what? It's like, no, they are either furloughed or they're not. That's down to the employer. The memo itself raises a couple of interesting questions, though. The most pertinent question is this. Why should Boris Johnson not meet Sir Graham in a one-to-one meeting? Because there's a couple of possibilities here. Is it because the advisor doesn't trust Sir Graham, or that he doesn't trust Boris Johnson? Do they think Sir Graham will tell the Prime Minister lies about the true feeling of backbench MPs? Because remember, Sir Graham Brady clearly is going to have a lot of people on his side in terms of his way of thinking, but exactly how many? He could always inflate the numbers that are apparently expressing concern to the Prime Minister and therefore sway the Prime Minister's policy decisions. Now, this would be more difficult if the Chief Whip were also present, because part of the Chief Whip's role is also getting to know backbench MPs, because it's the Chief Whip's job, for example, to get MPs in the party to vote the way the government want them to. That requires a bit of a personal touch, because it sometimes requires a bit of negotiation. So the Chief Whip is likely to also be in the know about the strength of feeling. So is it that? Or is it because they think that Brady might try and extract certain promises out of Johnson? Is it that they don't trust Johnson to be resolute enough? And that Johnson might seek to say anything to get out of an awkward confrontation without really thinking it through or talking it through with his advisors. And either possibility is plausible, really. But what is being shown here which is much more interesting, is there's a real wariness between the Prime Minister's office and the person representing the bulk of Conservative MPs, which is an unhealthy state of affairs for any party that possibly feeds into what I was talking about earlier this week in terms of Johnson's possible loosening of power, his grip of power. He's already come in for some stick in the Conservative supporting media, and if he's also at odds with his own parliamentary party to any significant degree, then he has real troubles. And I already don't think he'll still be leading the party into the next election. But if a real schism develops between Boris Johnson and the bulk of the parliamentary party, and if he keeps getting attacked from other quarters within the right wing, whether it be in the media or other parts of politics, then he may not last very long into next year, let alone for the next general election. But that's my look at the situation. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I hope you found the video interesting. If you did, don't forget to click the like button. And if you'd like to support the channel further, then please also click the Patreon link for details. And until next time, I'll see you later.